You found us. Hey, hi everyone. It's Emil. I got my Canada thing up. I got my gong and my Canada thing up. Um, Emil Amok. Welcome to my takeout. Emil Amok's takeout. My takes on all things considerable. Tonight, you know what's happening. You see the scroll there on the screen. I'm just on the 7 p.m. show, but there's a lot of good people on that 7 p.m. show, like Deb, what's her last name? Oh my, Deb Balali and Oliver Saria. I mean, there's a lot of good people, and Sean Felipe, who just won the stand-up comedy competition. Yeah, I remember the first stand-up comedy competition in San Francisco. It was at the Punchline. I think it was Sinbad who won it, right? It was either Deborah Warfield or Sinbad. One was the first one, the other one was the second. But that's how far back I go. And I thought now, in the twilight of my journalistic career, this was the time to do stand-up. So I'm out there, and they had the good sense, or maybe the poor sense, to put me on the 7 o'clock show tonight. So I'm there at Bindlestiff Studios. Check it out tonight, 7 o'clock, 185 6th Street in San Francisco. Then there's a show at 9 o'clock, different set of comedians. There are a lot of Filipino comedians that you ought to know about, even if you're not Filipino. Sean Felipe is sort of like the big name. A. Samson Manalo, PX Floro, Avi Cordova. There's a lot of people there over the course of 2 nights. And yours truly, Emil Amok, at the 7 o'clock show. That'll be fun. With Sean Felipe, also with Oliver Sari. I met a lot of them last night over there on at Victory Hall on Rich. Man, that place was hopping last night for a Thursday night. And maybe we'll do more over there. But check out Bindlestiff Studio, 185 6th Street tonight at 7 o'clock for me and other great comics. And then at 9 o'clock, more great comics. And then this is the 26th. I'm Friday night. I'm there, but there's another show on the 27th. Great show on the 27th. So check it out. It's the third annual Filipino Comedy Festival. The third annual Filipino Comedy Festival. And tickets available online. If you see the crawl, and you get your tickets at bindlestiffstudio.org. bindlestiffstudio.org/Filipino Comedy Fest 3. Check it out. All right. So let me bring up lots happening in the news since we last talked. The Jimmy Kimmel thing looks like it's fading because Sinclair says, hey, they're going to stop the boycott. So they've come to their good senses, because why not stop the boycott? Because that's petty compared to going after Jim Comey, the former FBI director. So I thought, hey, we got to bring on Professor Daniel Phil Gonzalez, our friend, also legal mind, having graduated with the JD. He is a Professor Emeritus in Asian American Studies, Filipino Studies at the College of Ethnic Studies at San Francisco State University. He's exactly what all the conservatives want to see go away. Everything about, but this is happening. You gotta know all this stuff. So Dan, what's going on here in the news with Jimmy Kimmel?
Yeah,
Jimmy Kimmel is
right now the JD. The JD stands for juridical dissonance. But anyway,
and it's important. So Jim, as we come on, Sinclair, which was leading the boycott, saying that they yielded and saying, okay, we're not going to boycott because it's silly. It's really silly to boycott a comedian who did not do anything wrong except exercise his First Amendment rights, just like Charlie Kirk. So
what I heard from Disneyland, LA, is that they told Sinclair, how do you feel about losing ESPN and Disney Plus? How do you feel about us boycotting you?
Yeah.
And that's like it's a it's unfortunately the best comparison that I come up with is their thumbs were bigger.
Mm-hmm.
Their thumbs were bigger. People were talking about putting things on the scale, and Sinclair and Nexstar, they're trying to do that thing. Some of their commentators are in the extreme. They are extreme right.
Sinclair and Nexstar probably will follow suit, because together Sinclair and Nexstar blocked out 23% of the country, and Kimmel still got 6 million people
that's right.
tuning in. So
that's right. And they're going to be there for a while. I mean, as long as his material stays good, and as long as Trump and his administration keep doing what they're doing, including going after even more, quote, political enemies, unquote, right? People, the most the most horrible human being that ever existed in the world, right? James Comey. And it's like, whoa, right? And then Hexeth calls in 800 officers and enlisted people from the U.S. military into a central area around Washington, D.C., all at once. It's brilliant. It's freaking brilliant.
What is that about, Dan? I mean, really?
It's a demonstration. It's penis envy, man. It's everybody wanting to show, I got control, I got power. Look, I teach in my classes that politics is 60% psychology, man. It's 60% psychology. On the one hand, it's what drives people to run for office and seek power. Okay, do they seek responsibility, or do they seek mischief and power, right, in their own interests? All right, and so that's what you have to guard against. You have to guard against the fact that people who want to run for office are driven by ego. The question then is, are they also driven by bigger emotional motivation from libido? Okay, and when you look at Trump, you had 29 psychiatrists come down and put their careers on the line and say, no, don't put this egomaniacal SOB in office. And they did,
and no one listened, and people didn't listen.
Some people did listen, but not enough. Not enough people. People were, I have to say it, man. People say, don't call the American public stupid. Yeah, you're stupid. Okay. Yeah, you're stupid.
No, they're stupid. Well, they call them low propensity or low information
voters. I know. The Democrats and the liberal press are still doing it, man. They're still downplaying. They're still not saying. How long did it take for them to call Trump a liar? God.
Oh, yeah. They'll say, they'll say, well, he doesn't tell the truth as much, or
what he said was mostly not actually accurate.
Right. They'll say things like that to avoid saying lie. He lies. Yeah,
it's a lie,
but he's lying.
And then the first time a couple of commentators on mainstream, the antenna networks, right, called him a liar. They said, oh, that's horrible. You can't be calling the president of the United States a liar. What if he's a liar? Jeez. You have to respect the office.
This is where we are right now, unfortunately.
Unfortunately, this is where we've been, and this is where we're going.
Yeah.
Here's my phrase. Two phrases that our watchers or listeners got it. Mm-hmm. Look these up on your own, because I don't want to take up our time defining them. Okay. One, abuse of power. Abuse of power. Look it up. Okay. Yeah. There are such things as criminal abuse of power, and yes, okay, everybody up to and including the president of the United States have been accused of doing that. Think Richard Nixon. That's all you got to do. Yeah.
But here's the thing. Donald Trump is making Richard Nixon look like an altar boy, right?
Did you say altered or alter? Oh, okay.
Alter. But I mean, here's the thing about
as in an alternative, right? Not ALTER. Yeah.
Yeah. Donald Trump is making Richard Nixon look like a saint, because it's like almost every day is Watergate. Every day is Watergate. Every day is something that would have been on the level of Watergate.
No, it's worse than Watergate. Watergate was a cover-up, and the cover-up was worse than the actual crime. Okay,
right.
In this instance, the actual crimes are beyond Watergate, right?
Yeah,
and they're not even covered. They're not even.
There's no cover-up. Right.
Yeah, they do it right out in the open, and the public is allowing it to happen. And I'm supposed to say you're not stupid. I'm supposed to say, well, that's not stupid. Okay, it's okay.
This is the problem, that you're right. They're not even trying to cover up. It's all out in the open. It's just, here it is. It's worse than Watergate, but it's like Watergate every day. Watergate every day.
Yeah. It is something worse than Watergate every day. I agree.
Something that happens. Oh, fire, and then people forget. Did we forget about the Fed director that he wants to get rid of, and that the Supreme Court said you can, and now there's going to be some kind of, I don't know what kind of court battle they can wage. Lisa Cook can wage to keep her job, but she's out, and it's just, the free speech battle.
I don't think she's going to be able to wage anything to get reinstalled, but
yeah,
she can go after unfair termination. She can go after that. Okay, so there's all kinds of civil, but see, those kinds of cases would take years to get through the courts, particularly with the conditions, the political and legal conditions that exist at the moment. Okay, I got one more phrase: malicious prosecution. You got to look that up. Malicious prosecution. Okay.
This is worse. This is worse than a nuisance lawsuit. This malicious means you're really going after.
Yes.
For the jugular.
And I mean, James Comey, Ms. Cook, all of the people that the Trump administration go after, that Mr. Trump fingers and says they're it. He's doing it out in the open. He's saying, "Listen, Pam, you got to do it." Okay, Pam, you got to do it. So what's the threat? How is Pam feeling threatened? Does she see herself now as also being on the table, that she might get cut and they'll find somebody else? It'll be really entertaining to find somebody else, because he keeps going lower down the competency chain. One of the reasons Pam Bondi has a great reputation from the state of Florida of being a good prosecutor, right? And people still had confidence. There were people who were non-committal in terms of nonpartisan positions, and they were being asked, "What do you expect her to be able to do if she's AG?" And they said, "Well, the jury's still out on that. We shouldn't judge her prematurely because she has a good record in the state of Florida." Okay. Well, all you got to do to me is for me is to say state of Florida, and immediately there's an 80% taint. An 80% taint,
Oh yeah, but she was good enough to be seen as, okay, there's some slight integrity still there with when you say Pam Bondi. But now she's gone full Trump, and she's doing everything she can. But here's the thing about this suit. They went all the way down to an insurance lawyer who was her last job within the White House was taking out the word slavery, or making sure the Smithsonian wasn't making slavery look too positive in her mind, which was anytime it mentioned
negative. She said we got to quit stressing the negative. Those are her exact words.
Right. Slavery was seen as so negative. We want to see something more positive about slavery.
Exactly.
Like, the blacks learned some skills. The blacks.
Well, we got Uncle Tom's Cabin. That's not banned, is it? I don't know.
Yeah. Well, this is the crazy thing about this is her competency level in law. It wasn't to prosecute anything, and now Pam Bondi says, "Okay, I'm going to pick someone who's really incompetent to do this." It may backfire on Pam Bondi, but it does get this ball rolling where Donald Trump gets what he wants, and that is really what we're talking about. Donald Trump needs to get what he wants.
Well, what's your feeling? What is your feeling? How do you feel about the fact that Trump is doing this and that Comey was his first big target?
It's terrible, because when I knew it was going to be Comey, but when you heard former FBI director, I said, "Oh, what, did Kash Patel get fired? And now he's going after Kash Patel?" No. So I just think this whole thing is bad, because if it is successful, I hope it's not. If you look at the lawsuit, it's like uh, kind of a thinly, a thin piece
It's
of
very thinly
legal.
drafted.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's only
and
two. There's only two charges essentially, and
yeah,
it's kind of
obstruction.
it's actually easy to get convictions on those charges, and
Yeah,
that's one of the reasons that they wanted to bring these charges in this manner to this person,
yeah,
because
but
many of the people that were convicted and that would have been doing jail time, some of them actually did do jail time until they were granted, of course, pardon
mhm.
by His Excellency,
Yeah,
right?
but the thing about this lawsuit, people think because you hear the MAGA folks and they're saying, "Oh, Russia, Russia, Russia." Comey led the charge against. This has nothing to do with Russia.
well,
It has
well,
something to do with it.
well,
It
yeah,
has everything.
indirectly, yeah, okay. It's in. Well, they're doing that because they're once again misstating by almost 180 degrees the actual findings of the
Oh
Mueller
yeah,
investigation. Okay,
right.
they said they found that there were in fact connections. Okay,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
two of the Trump administration people that had been engaged in that activity before the election, right? Before the election, were convicted, and they were
yeah,
doing time, okay, for their dealings with Russia, for their dealings with Iran, right?
yeah,
Okay, with their dealings with Orban. Come on now. And
yeah.
so
Well, see,
they were
this.
in jail. They did
Yeah.
time. Some of them finished their sentence, like a couple of years, and then they were
Yeah, and then
pardoned.
they're pardoned by Trump. But
Yes,
see, here's the thing: they want to harp on the Russia thing, like, oh, Donald Trump
it was fake.
is
That's why those
yeah,
guys went to jail. It was all
yeah.
fake.
But the other thing is, this current thing with Comey has nothing to do with Russia. It has everything to do with the Clinton Foundation, which is a separate matter. But it's like, oh, we're getting Comey, for whatever we can because we can, and it's because of Russia. But if you want to get him on Russia, why wasn't he charged on Russia? Because there was nothing there. And just like there's really nothing there here on this charge on the Clinton Foundation, and it's likely that it's going to be thrown out. Yeah, I mean, or a jury would.
I okay. Here we go. All right, here we go. So you're asking whether or not it's going to be thrown out, and I was asking you, what do you think? You might be surprised by this. I'm cheering the freaking Republicans on. I'm saying, do it. Do it.
Yeah.
Keep saying, yeah, he deserves this. Okay. And yeah, there's going to be more. We're going to go after all of them. We're going to go after Schiff. We're going to go after anybody who was in a prosecutorial trail, right? We're going to go after all of them. Okay. I want them to do it. I want them to follow through, because every time that this happens, if it ever goes to trial, if it even goes to discovery, okay, all kinds of material will come out that exactly contradicts their criticisms and their claims.
Right, because there'll be discovery. There'll be, if it goes to trial, and we will see more documents coming out that will blow up on Trump and embarrass Trump, and people will see, in fact, as I like to say, the emperor has no clothes. The emperor has no clothes, but people still think, oh, even if South Park has exposed the fact that the emperor has no clothes, they still think, oh, the emperor is clothed. The emperor's clothed. They're willing to go along with the emperor has clothes.
Oh man, the last two episodes of South Park were just fantastic, man. And the way they keep casting Vance,
I did see the new one. There's a new one, right? That came out yesterday.
Yeah.
I did see that
not
new
yesterday.
one.
Today's Friday. I think it came out Wednesday.
Thursday. No, Thursday.
Oh, okay.
Thursday. Anyway, the last one I saw was the Labubu one.
Okay, no, that's a couple weeks old already. No, I saw a new one, and I'm trying to remember how the plot went, but
that's all right. Don't spoil it for me, Dan.
No, I won't.
I'm already caught up with my Labubu.
The Satan is pregnant.
Oh yes, Satan is pregnant by Donald Trump,
and Trump is trying. He's using various devices to well, control the outcome.
Yes, but look, if they have a baby, it'll probably look like Melania.
Yeah. Oh man, it's a butt baby. That's what they call it, a butt baby. I tell you, man.
Well, this is the thing. Oh. You know, if South Park can get away with that, what Jimmy Kimmel said is nothing.
Oh no, yeah, I'm really thankful for South Park because I could tell my students, watch South Park, and then I could really be loose in class.
Well, that's what I said. That's what I said. That's what I say in my show. My show is all about, hey, thank goodness for South Park. I mean, when I was up in Canada, and people in Canada got it. In fact, before one of the more salacious episodes came out, people said, hey, did you see South Park, Emil? I said, oh, no, it was because my show came out the day it dropped a couple weeks ago, one of the Satan episodes. Anyway, look, all right, so the free speech thing is settled. The Comey thing will probably blow up, and I see your point why we should root for Comey to blow up on everyone's faces because it'll.
No, I'm rooting for the Republicans to continue their massive attack. You know? All of a sudden Lindsey Graham is back out in front again, saying, "Yeah, man, these are they did all these things. They did all these things. Well, guess what? He committed crimes." Okay, well, the guy's been convicted of crimes. Okay, and the only reason he was not removed from office is you. You are the reason he was not removed from office. You are the reason that he was allowed to run again. Okay.
Yeah, Lindsey Graham, and then, but wait a minute. The people then put him back in.
Well, yeah.
People put him back in.
They did, and that I mean, well, how could you believe? How could you believe, if you had any sense at all, about how the system works? How could you believe that one guy, was not going to make all the prices go down and make your life more affordable, make life in America more? How could you believe that?
Hey, look, and look at the numbers now. I mean, I think he's putting on more tariffs on more goods. Yeah, and I have noticed this one thing to be true: cheap products from China. I love to buy these cheap little gadgets, for my phone and stuff. And I noticed that if you buy it directly on the socials, number one, you'll pay more, and number two, there's no recourse. They'll say you got to ship it back to China if it broke. And if you pay $20, we'll give you a 10% refund, a replacement if you don't want to ship it back. Or we will ship you another one of our cheap products that you were dissatisfied with. That's what happens now if you buy cheap Chinese products. I think so. From my experience, if you're buying cheap Chinese products, go to Amazon. I know people don't want to buy from, want to frequent Amazon, but at least if you buy from Amazon, you'll get recourse from, in terms of, trying to buy these cheap things. So anyway, the real answer is stop buying these cheap things. But as long as there are tariffs on all these products going out or coming in, I think American consumers are really paying. They're eating the tariffs. They're going to be eating the taxes. But
they don't think so. They don't really believe that yet because some of the major corporations have been eating portions of the tariff and they've been trying to keep their prices down. But even Walmart has said it's going to hit. And the worst part is it's going to hit right after Halloween. It's going to hit right during the holiday season. And that's when people are going to see it really, really strongly. They saw it a little bit when school supplies.
Oh yeah, school supplies.
Was open, but that was relatively minor. And the Walmart and the other big corporations, including Costco, were eating some of the difference. But I think we're going to see it. It's going to be really pretty stark. And worse yet, the healthcare.
Oh yeah, the healthcare. Oh boy. Oh, let's talk about the shutdown. I mean, because I tried to avoid the shutdown, but it's unlikely that we'll be on before. But the shutdown, if the shutdown happens, it's the Trump shutdown. It's not the Democrats. Or what do you think? Is it the Democrat shutdown if Donald
Well,
Trump doesn't even want to meet
but
with them?
see, the general public watches more of Fox and Newsmax
Yeah.
than they do anything else.
Yeah.
And so it's going to be how well does that crowd, right, at Fox, how well do they make the argument that the fault lies with the Democrats? And how
Yeah.
well do the Democrats, okay, make a general appeal, right, that makes
Yeah.
sense to the public in
Yeah.
terms of the kind of arguments that the Fox types make? That's what it comes
Yeah.
down to. It comes down to
Well,
unreal arguments versus the quality of the truth.
yeah.
How well are they communicating reality? And the
See,
Democrats have been lousy at communicating reality.
well, they can't communicate reality, and they can't communicate on the fantasy lie scale in the same way
They don't
as the
challenge it.
Republicans.
Yes, they don't
Yeah,
challenge it
and
effectively.
so everyone is sort of given this disinformation by the Republicans, and they fall for it. Like my friend, who is like, my friend who said after Charlie Kirk was assassinated, and Trump says, "Oh, it's the left-wing media or the left-wing activists," and my friend says, "Have you no remorse?" He says it to me, and then my friend is totally, well, I'm buying American, so he traded in his Japanese car and he's got his big, American car, and he thinks life is beautiful. Life is, because Trump says, not that beautiful.
What's his income level?
Well, I mean, he does okay. I mean, maybe he's at 150, 200 a year.
Yeah, he's at about the place where it's kind of neutral, where he's not.
Yeah.
It's kind of neutral. He's going to gain a little bit from the big beautiful bill. He's going to gain from that, and so that's one reason right there. But see, what your friend is indicative of the greater. He's symptomatic, right?
Yeah.
But he's indicative of the greater problem, which is that a lot of the American population thinks accordingly. If he takes a look at, I guess he doesn't trust Consumer Reports, right? He probably thinks CR stands for Communist, Reformation or some shit.
Well, I don't know, but the problem is, so he traded in his a decent Japanese car for an American car and going American and just following Trump down that road. And I don't know. I think it's
all of the American brands are rated lower than most of the Japanese and even South Korean brands, and they're rated lower also than one German brand. There's one German brand that's doing pretty well, right? And the rest of them are all Japanese and South Korean, man. He can go ahead and buy his goddamn American car. That's great.
Yeah, well, I just think that the truth's going to hit, and when we go into a recession, or if we go into stagflation, or when, what do you think about the UN? We haven't even gotten into the UN, but that UN speech was a doozy, especially when you get into the flip on Ukraine. Suddenly, I guess he was spurned by Putin, he was made to look ridiculous by Putin, and it's starting to hurt. Must hurt Trump that Putin is not listening.
Well, the general public is starting to understand that Putin is going to do what Putin wants. Okay.
Yeah.
And so they're seeing right live and up front that Trump is a nothing. Right. He's a nothing. He cannot challenge Putin openly. Right. And so now his indirect way of making it look like he's doing something is saying, we're going to help Ukraine. Okay. So I want to see what he does. I want to really see what he does. He couches everything in terms of we'll help Ukraine if the EU helps Ukraine. Right. And he doesn't want to say NATO because, Ukraine is not a NATO country. Right. And so he also doesn't want to say NATO because he hates NATO.
Right. But he's pissing off the allies, and I think America is getting confused, and we got to go back to the disinformation and the misinformation. You see the president putting out these mixed signals, for Putin, for Ukraine, for Putin, for Ukraine. Not for Putin anymore. Now for Ukraine. And then we're not even into the Gaza thing yet. Netanyahu's here, and I think there's going to be a backlash there. There's already people sort of splitting off saying, "Why are we embracing Netanyahu? It doesn't make us anti-Semitic. Certainly,
right.
It makes us,
right.
Makes us pro-humanitarian."
Once again, the American right and a good portion of the moderate, American segment, people who would consider themselves nonpartisan and all that, right?
Yeah.
And moderate in position, they've always been pro-Israel, and that's been a problem. They've been pro-Israel for the entire existence of Israel since 1948.
So
that's my entire lifetime, man.
I mean, look, well, mine too. I mean, here we are at this crossroads. We thought we made these great, these great leaps in everything: world affairs, foreign affairs.
We did. Remember, we actually did.
But now we're going back. Remember '89? Everyone pro-democracy. Now we're pro-strongman. Remember the '60s with civil rights and with voting rights, and now we're coming back. 50, 60 years. It's almost like the head spinning is just unbelievable.
And the reason it's possible is the failure of education. That education started prioritizing STEM, right? Rightfully so, because we wanted to keep up technologically, right? Mm-hmm. And the thing that was saving this country technologically, because we were behind in terms of STEM, right? Science and technology, we're behind, is immigration. Immigration was what kept the country alive.
And now we're confused about immigration because these H-1B visas, if we put $100,000 charge, I think it really does expose who was the corrupt factor in the H-1B visas. It's not the people making the visas or getting the visas. It was in the companies. The companies were corrupt, because right now, if what they're saying is, companies, you better pay $100,000 for these people and overpay them. But guess what? Not many people are going to do that, right? I mean, maybe Tesla will continue abusing H-1B visas.
Sure.
But
the Obama administration is partially blamed for that. I mean, I'm not talking about the fact that he was, the deporter in chief and all those kinds of things. It's true that in terms of his history, he was the most deporting president. But what was problematic was that they made the H-1Bs lottery. So they went ahead and found another way to reduce the number of people coming in through H-1Bs. And so once again, however you look at it, a reduction in legal immigration, okay? Because this is legal immigration now.
Right.
A reduction in legal immigration has to have an effect, right? On the qualities and characteristics of the immigrants, and we were letting in a lot of tech people. Okay, the fact of the matter is the liberal moment of 1965 and the passage of the new Immigration Reform Act of 1965, right? Mm-hmm. That was responsible, for example, for Filipinos coming in at 20,000 per year. Okay, and it wasn't just Filipinos. The two groups, all the way up until the 90s, right, that had the largest level of immigration population per annum were Chinese and Filipinos. That's how our communities grew. That's how for decades. That's how our communities grew.
Well, how do you think the South Asians, the Indians in particular, how they overtook Filipinos?
Sure.
Because the H-1Bs and I thought it was maybe Filipino Catholics weren't doing. Yeah, maybe Filipino Catholics weren't doing their share. Come on, we don't believe in birth control. Come on, get up there. Why are we like number 3 now? It's like Chindapino now. It's Chinese, Indian, and Filipino. We're Chindapinos. I mean, I don't know what's going on. I mean, but it's the H-1Bs, and it's
Yes.
the
Yes.
it's the abuse of the
And
H-1Bs.
family reunification. Family reunification. The biggest gateway is family reunification. Okay.
Right, and they got rid of that. They got rid of that.
That's exactly their attack. And then there's the attack against birthright citizenship, right?
Yeah, I mean they're attacking us, man. I mean we're going down
all the way down the line.
I mean even though Filipinos have had like good representation, like that guy Paolo Pasco on Jeopardy the other week, Harvard guy, Lampoon guy. I mean he's good. And then also, did you see Jessica Sanchez on America's Got Talent? She won. I mean a lot of people aren't watching those shows anymore. But Jessica Sanchez has been a singer a long time. She finally won. She got $100,000, or excuse me, $1 million, but it's an annuity paid over 40 years, so it's like 25,000. She might as well work at Jollibee as a side job and then keep singing, right? But my friend, I got a friend, Chris Turner, who she was up against, and I like Chris. He's a freestyle rapper. He once rhymed my gong, this very gong. We were in Orlando, and I was in the audience. He rhymed my gong in his freestyle rap, and I was kind of rooting for him, but I'm glad Jessica won. But anyway, all right, so H-1Bs. Oh, look, one final word about Belva Davis. She died.
Oh, man.
Passed away. She was 92.
She was a great person. Just a wonderful.
Did you know her? Did you meet her?
Oh yeah. Yeah. She covered. They credited her correctly for all of the political shit that she covered, except one thing. They said she covered the UC Berkeley student activism.
And it was the SS
Here we go again.
Yeah.
Here we go again. She was at K-Pix, man, and she was on campus at the picket line at SF State. That's how I knew her. That's how we all met her. Okay.
Yeah, but she was a union. She was a union person, right?
Yeah,
she was for the AFTRA, American Federation of Television and Radio Artists. Hats off to Belva. I had the privilege of sitting next to her in the newsroom. Belva Davis. She was, and she gave me some good advice. She was like a newsroom mother to every person, not just the women, but to people of color, because she knew the men. The men weren't always, given, they were given short shrift, just like the women sometimes, And she gave me some advice, and I'll never forget it. I didn't listen to all of it. I was maybe, a little too stubborn, a little too, in my yuppie years, a little too arrogant, but she gave me some good advice. I'll never forget Belva. She tried.
What did she say about the Fifi haircut?
She was nice. She was nice. She said, "Oh, Emil, that's good. You're styling. She said, "Oh, you got a haircut like your mom."
There was a certain wide receiver, right? That had the same haircut. Obviously, he was your inspiration.
No. I was going for the Roger Daltrey, the white fro. And I had an African American, a half Hungarian, half African American girlfriend in high school, and she wore an Afro wig. And it, I didn't know it was an Afro wig, but it was like, she was like. And so I thought, I'm tired of my straight hair. It's like the grass is always greener. Got to get in, into your, so I got into my ethnicity, And so I went. I didn't want it that tight though. I just wanted a little wave. But it got, And then I hear it's called it was called like a success perm because even Kim Jong-il.
Yeah. Well, luckily you had changed that haircut by the time my mother met you.
Oh yeah. I went straight.
They were so excited. My parents, particularly my mom, was so excited to meet Milky.
Oh, it was good to meet her too, Danny. It was good to meet your mom, Dan. It was good to meet your mom.
Oh man. Yeah, she got clips. She got clips. I'm looking through all of her albums, and she's got clips of everybody except me. I think she got one clip. She got one clip of something that I did, and it was relatively.
Oh, she loved you, Danny. She loved you, Danny, but she loved me more.
No, man.
I'm sorry.
No, man.
Hey, so Dan. Yeah, look, we had to talk about that sometime because that'd be fun on the other part. We're going to the library in November. Hey,
Okay,
listen,
yeah.
Dan.
We got to talk about the library actually, November
Yeah,
5th.
no. Well, we're gonna talk. We're gonna go. We're first things first. The comedy show,
Okay,
September 26th and 27th. You're gonna be there tonight. And
I
26th at
am going to be there
Bindlestiff,
both nights, hiding
185
from
6th
the
Street.
public.
It's Filipino comedy. It's different. It's not all just Joe Coy or Rex
Oh
Navarrete or
man, I hate to say it, but Zokoi was kind of lightweight for my. I went.
yeah.
We spent big bucks to go see his show at Chase, and it left me saying I know at least 3 or 4 other guys personally, guys and women that were
Yeah.
funnier.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. You get so big, and you're not that funny. So but you want to go big because the descent down to the bottom, lasts longer. You know, but
Well, it was
like
his
me,
style. His style had an appeal that was broader than just the Filipinos. His
yeah,
style had there. I was blown away at Chase because I'd say at least 30% of the audience was Latino.
Latino. How about
Yeah,
white? White and white
yeah,
too,
a significant number of white. Yeah,
because Steven Spielberg likes him. And I guess if you had to choose between Fluffy and Joe Coy, I like Joe Coy. But Angela Johnson. I think she married a Filipino. She's funny. She's funny too.
mm-hmm.
Anyway, lots of different comic styles. You'll see it if you go to the Filipino Comedy Festival, September 26th to the 27th. Shows at 7 and 9. They're different each time. I'm on the 26th at 7 o'clock. Other comics, Sean Felipe just won the San Francisco comedy competition, so he's going to be on a couple shows. So come down to the Bindlestiff Studio, 185 6th Street. Dan's going to be there. All right, Dan, I promise that we're going to make this short.
Yeah,
So
yeah. You got to come into
that's
town.
it.
You're still home.
I got to come in town. So look,
You
I'll
gotta be
see you a little
safe.
later.
All
There he
right, man.
goes.
Thank you.
Daniel Phil. Thank you, Dan.
Peace out.
There he goes,
Peace out.
Daniel Phil Gonzalez. And and we gotta, remember Belva. I want to bring up Belva again, but Belva she was good. She was good.
She was a
good.
great person, man.
She was important. She was important. And here's my lesson about Belva. If we can all live a long life and make a career and make it last like Belva, she was not a flash in the pan. That was her thing. Don't be a flash in the pan. Be
Yep.
have a career. Last a lifetime. And Belva Davis did. So.
Yep. She did some scary stuff too. She did some scary stuff, like hanging from the bridge. In the main case, I wouldn't have done that. I don't think I could handle it. But anyway,
Belva,
she was wonderful. She was just a very caring person.
Wonderful. I miss her. I missed her. All right, Dan, we're saying bye. Daniel Phil Gonzalez, College of Ethnic Studies, San Francisco State University. My friend, Professor Emeritus. He's going to be there tonight, September 26th. Also, the 7 o'clock show. San Francisco, the Filipino Comedy Festival, the 3rd annual. It's San Francisco and New York, and some New York comedians are going to be there. A guy named, I met him last night. Via Abolencia. Via is his name. He's going to be there. I'll just read the names of people. Sean Felipe, Kitty Pineapple, A. Sampson Manalo, PX Floro, A.V. Cordova, April Pascua, Artie Valenzuela, Evan Maglinte, Emil Guillermo Amok, Eric Esteban, Goldie, and Mateo Gareza. Goldie, it's a mother-son thing. Jax Ramirez, John Yabes, Jonas Castillo, Julius Ramirez. Oh, I know Jex and Julius. They're brothers. Kyle Marion. I know Kyle. Mikey Perry. Oily Dub. Oliver Saria. RJ Villa. Sandy Velasco. Tatiana Dyers. Via Abolencia from New York. Wally Hippolito. Deb Balali is hosting. Manny Cabrera. Rhoda Gravador. A. Sampson Manalo. They're all hosting. Hey, it's great. I met Manny. I met Deb. I met Rhoda. I met Sampson. Hey, it's fun. It's going to be fun. Tonight, Friday the 26th, 27th. Shows 7 and 9 o'clock. All right. Hey, Emil Amok here. We're saying goodbye. We're going to try to end this at 45 minutes out. Watch the repeat. We like to end with a little loving kindness. A little loving kindness. Because, meditation makes the world go round. And so, as I wish for me, I wish for you. May you be safe. May you be happy. May you be healthy. And may you live with ease. Till next time. Emil Amok here. Emil Guillermo. Ahau Kita.